All right. Well, welcome to everybody who's watching on live stream this morning. It's great to have you with us. We just hope that you're really blessed by the service today. Today we've asked several people if they would share, and our second person for today is going to be Rose. So Rose, would you like to come out? It's good. Rose has been coming to Ignition Youth for about 3 or 4 months. 4 months, yeah, which has been awesome. And she's going to tell her story of how she started coming and how then she started coming to church.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Rose, as Tracy just said. I'm 14 and I go to Naracoorte High School. I've been coming to this church for about 3 months now, and before that I started coming to youth, which has been about 4 months I've been coming to youth. I grew up in a non-religious family and I didn't know much about any religions, but I was always somehow drawn to Christianity. So I started coming to youth group because of Sophie and a few of my other friends. The first time I came to a church service, I was honestly so scared. Mainly because everything was just so new to me. And then since then I feel like I've grown as a person. Like I was saying to Tracy the other day, if you looked at my life 6 months ago and then again now, most of the things would have changed because since I committed my life, I feel like it's gotten so much better. Looking back, I feel like since I became a Christian, I finally got back my sense of hope again, which is something I struggled with for a while. And I'm finally starting to feel self-worth again, which is another thing I struggled with for ages. Since becoming a Christian, I will admit there still has been a few bumpy patches. But overall, I have been doing so much better, and I can trust that I'm going through all this for a reason. I feel like God has a purpose for me, and there's a reason I'm here today, which is great to feel again, and I'm finally starting to believe things truly do get better. I've gone from being at my lowest to being the best place I've been in ages and overall enjoying life again. I don't think that would have happened if it wasn't for youth, church, and committing my life. I feel like it helped me improve as a person, and I feel like I committed my life and started coming to youth at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. And we do love having you at youth, and we love having her at church. I just want to cheer on those youth that do come on their own. What an incredible thing to do as a young person when your family might not be Christians or might not go to church, but to come by yourself. It's very courageous, and but also yeah, we just really want to cheer you on as a church for doing that. That's awesome. So, and we've got a few that do that. Just talking about the youth, can I just point out that we have got 2 rows of youth today? Look at them. And there's some of our youth that aren't even sitting with the youth. Should we call that a youth row as well? I'm sure that the adults there won't mind. Yes, good. Lovely. It's all good. All right, we're going to hear from Vicky next. So Vicky, come on down. Just do a bit of furniture moving around. And have we got a microphone for Vicky? Yes. Good. Hi, Vicky. Hi. We're going to do a different kind of sharing. This is like interview style. Can everyone see us okay? Good. Very good. So we're going to have a chat and you get to be the flies on the wall listening. Good. So Vicky, tell us about where it all started for you. How did you come across us to start with?
It all started when Sue invited me to Bloom, which is a church group for young mums. She asked me to come along, so that was because she's from Simon at that stage.
So how many years ago was that?
At least 16 years.
Wow, 16 years. That's fantastic. Very cool. So you basically got invited along to a Connect group. That's where it started, by Sue. Thank you, Sue. And what we like at that point in your life? Describe yourself, Vicky.
I was very shy. I would barely go out and I couldn't speak that well. And yeah, since I've been coming to Bloom and to church, I've just changed in my speaking and everything else.
Yeah, I can't believe how much Vicky has changed. She was just so shy at that point. Yeah, and yeah, started a lot, which is just incredible. Look at her now. Look at her out here. So what happened next, Vicky? How did you end up coming to church?
Sue invited me to the night service, and then I was sort of a bit scared, but I did say no to it for quite a while. And then I thought, why not?
Yep.
And yeah, I've been coming ever since.
Yep. So, you also you were there when Max Life Church started.
Yes, I did.
Yep. Yeah. Tell us about that, because lots of people here weren't there. Like, what was it like back then?
It was up at the South School, and I went and I did help out a little bit back then, not as much. But yeah, no. And Sophie was only 6 months old when we first started coming to Max Life Church. And yeah.
It's fantastic. How has that affected your family, do you feel?
God has affected us with my whole family, with my marriage, problems, and losing all of my loved ones. I did back away from the church for quite a while.
Yep. So there was a year period there
Yes,
where there were
I think it was a year.
Yeah,
about
or a
2
time.
years.
Yeah.
I lost all of my fathers and a close family friend, and that affected me really bad.
So the grief at that point really got to you. And then how did that affect your faith at that point? What was going through your head?
I was blaming God a lot, but with the church family was sending out texts and just putting their hands out. It was just, I knew he was there, but I was just finding it really hard.
Yeah. So you kind of stopped, you've been coming quite regularly, and at that point you stopped coming for quite
about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I just stopped because I couldn't be here.
Yeah. And then at that time, it was people that kept on including you and caring for you and texting you that really
Yes.
helped. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have one thing I would like to share. When my real father passed away, our family were away on a camping trip, and I got back and I came to church, and Christy came up and gave me a biggest hug ever, and that sort of made me feel I needed to start actually coming back.
Awesome. The power of a hug. That's beautiful. I feel like since then, your faith has it's been like a new level of faith.
Yeah.
Things have changed even since then. What's different more recently? What's God been doing in your life more recently?
I've been trying to put my hand out with the new ones. If new people come, try and include them to go out for coffee or, little bits like that, just to actually encourage them a little bit more.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about serving the church? I feel like that's a real big thing on your heart.
To me, I feel like because you have given me so much over the last 16 years, it's my way to give back to helping out wherever you guys actually would like to put me. I'm always actually willing to help out. And I just feel like it's just something I can actually give back.
Yeah, and I have to really encourage Vicky on that, particularly this year when we've had a lot of our core team out with sickness and things. Vicky has just been such a pillar person. She is just like, whatever, I'll do anything. And so often, like just about every week, Christy will have a spot on the roster that she can't fill. And she'll just contact Vicky the day before and say, can you be unwelcoming today? Or can you be on service team? Or can you help in the kitchen today? Or can you do coffee today? Whatever it is, Vicky says yes. And you've been on doing different jobs most Sundays, and I don't actually know how this is like genuinely. I don't know how we would have got through this year without Vicky just having that beautiful attitude. Can we give her a clap for that? Yeah. It really has been incredible and so appreciated, Vicky.
It's just my gifts, which I can just actually give back. Just something that I can do.
That is beautiful. And yeah, I think you've God's really sort of challenged you about the priority you put on church in your life. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, you don't know what to say.
Oh, well, just that you try and be here.
Yeah, I try to be here
Yeah.
most weeks.
Yeah.
If I can, I've even organised through work not to put me on Sunday mornings so I can actually be here.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I'm actually not here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think I can definitely see that's changed in you. It's sort of like you've realised that you just can't, you need
I
gathering.
actually need God every day,
Yeah.
so I can get through everything.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really good, Vicky. You said to me where you think you'd be if it wasn't for the church.
Yes, I would hate to know where I would be because I do suffer from depression and anxiety, and if I didn't have the church, I don't know where I would be today because they helped me through my whole family, all of the struggles I have. It's just nice to know that I've got such a close church family that I can actually come to if I need a talk or coffee or whatever. I've always got someone there that I can help.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful, Vicky. Forgot to mention your baptism, but we missed that in the
Yes, I
story.
was one of the first groups being baptised in Max Life Church.
It's awesome, yeah. And it's just been beautiful to watch your personal faith in God just grow and watch you become more dependent on Him. And you've been through some really tough times in your life.
Yes.
That once upon a time that would have just overwhelmed you, but you've just stayed so strong in those times because of your faith. Like, difficult, but you've just hung on to God and He's carried you through and He's going to continue to carry you through.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Vicky.
It's about drawing near to God and He will draw near to you.
You're awesome. Let's give Vicky a huge hand. That was such a blessing to chat with you, Vicky, and did
Thank you.
fantastic. Well done. It's good. Good. And we're going to hear from Will as well. We'll just move some things out the way and... Come on down, Will. Will, are you going to tell us how you started coming in your story?
Can do if you want.
Can you just tack that bit on? Because I love
Yeah.
Will's story. It's one of my favourites. Just tack that on at the beginning.
Oh, I just came to church and kept coming. Yeah, that's all there was. All right, well, I'll start there then. All right, so my wife, Harley, she, back before we came to church, when we lived in Caston in primary school days and high school days, she always wanted to go to church, but family and all that weren't that open to it. So when we got together, which is 10 years ago this year, when we got together, she's like, I really want to go to church. And I said, I really don't want to go to church. But since meeting Johnny Sadler and working with him and just talking with him and Amy, and they were really open about everything and answered all the questions that we had. And so I said to Holly, all right, we'll go to church this one Sunday, and then what I'll do is I'll drop you at the door, and then I'll go back home. And I'll come pick you up when it's all done. But I ended up coming in with her, and I don't know. There's no words to describe it. It's just, I was pretty cautious at the start, but I don't know. I think having a friend that's a Christian as well that you can just keep firing questions to and until they get sick of it is great. So I don't know how long we came to church for, but yeah, we both ended up getting baptised on the same day, and yeah, it was awesome. It was probably about a year or so, and yeah, there's probably more to that story than just that, but that's a brief version of it. So this year has been pretty crazy. I'm imagining everyone's year has been pretty crazy. I've personally, we've sold a house, we've bought a house. My grandmother's passed away, the dog's passed away, we've had a baby, and we've bought a car. We've still got a few days left, I reckon, in this year too. You never know. We also had Harley's family living with us at the start of the year as well, and that was very pleasant. And then, so with our daughter being born, she was born pretty early, 30 weeks, and that was a big shock, I'll be honest. I was having a terrible day at work, and then Harley calls me saying, I reckon my waters are broken. I'm like, awesome. Yep, cool. So yeah, we went to Naracoorte, and I pretty well broke down crying because I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I called Tracy and I said, look, I need prayer. And then called Amy and said, I don't really know what I said. I can't remember, but I think I just said, I don't know what I'm doing. And she was amazing. She organised everything for us. She organised food and a place to stay and everything. It was unbelievable. So, photos on the thing. That's Harley reading her the Bible. We got in there early. It's funny, there was another girl in that room with us who we started talking to at the end, and she thought we were pretty weird at the start. She was talking to her friend going, these freaks are reading their kid the Bible. So, yeah, we'll take it. That's fine. So when she was born, she was pretty healthy, and then probably about 12 hours after, she went downhill really quickly, and she had to go on was it CPAP, I think it was, or high flow, one of them, for her breathing. And then when she was on that, she got a hole in her lung, and then she got a pneumothorax, which is like a big pocket of air, and so it's basically a punctured lung. And that was pretty scary. They came in at like 2 o'clock in the morning and said, oh, look, she's got a pneumothorax. It's all good. We're just going to stick a tube in her. And we're like, all right, whatever that means, cool. And then, yeah, we got there the next morning and she's got this hole in her chest. And, yeah, it was pretty scary. Basically, going through that time, I don't know 100% for Harley, but for me, it was really dark. And you could see, like, obviously we were happy. We've got a baby and she's still alive. That was as basic as my thought could get. And yeah, it was difficult. And I was thinking when Chelsea was speaking, actually, I'll go on a tangent again, why not? Everyone here makes up the body of Christ. So even little things you do, they might seem really insignificant when you do it, but that insignificant thing could be one of the most important things in that person's life at the time. And so for Chelsea, it was when she prayed for us, and that was incredible. It just showed us that God is still there, and God is still working in whatever we're going through at the time. I've tangented too much now. Yeah, even if you think something that you're doing is going to be insignificant to someone, just do it. Doesn't matter what it is. What's the worst that's going to happen? And so when we were staying in Adelaide, we were with Jane and Dylan, and another sort of the main point of what I want to say today is surround yourself with Christian friends, because through that time I was having a really tough time being able to pray and just being able to stop and listen to God, because there's so much else going on in your life that you just, it's almost like I was avoiding it because I didn't want to know what the answer was going to be to my prayers. And just surround yourself with Christian friends, and God speaks to them, like God speaks through them to you. And yeah, that's the most important thing that I could think of to say today is just do that, because you'll notice when you're with other people who aren't Christians or have got just completely opposite thoughts, it's pretty easy to go downhill from there with them. After being with Jane and Dylan and just having everyone talk to us and help us out, and the church giving us meals and money and everything, which was speechless. I can't tell you how important that was to us. We ended up. I asked the doctor how Sydney was doing. Sydney, baby. I asked how she was doing, and she said she's pretty sick for kids her age, and that really hurt. I think it was the answer we were expecting, but we didn't really want that. And so, yeah, she was really sick. That was a very difficult time too. But in the end, after everything, we got discharged from hospital 2 weeks early, and that was incredible. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'll finish it there. I've got other stuff, but that's all right. Surround yourself with Christian friends. Just talk to anyone here. It doesn't matter who it is. If you haven't spoken to them before, just talk to them. That might seem really small, but that's going to be really important to them. Just make the most of it. I think we're all reading from the same book as well, because I had that same John 1:5 verse too. I don't know what's going on here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Chelsea and Vicky and Rose and Will. Wasn't it awesome to hear their story? Yeah. And I think the thing about someone's story, someone's testimony, is that you can't actually deny the realness of that for them, because they're actually sharing what's really happened in their life. And this morning, I want to give you the chance to respond to that. Maybe you aren't a Christian, maybe you're here for the first time, maybe you've been coming a while, but you haven't really made that decision to actually invite Jesus into your life. Just as Will shared that he did. You know, his story was also that he didn't believe, didn't want anything to do with it for a long time, but he actually realised he needed Jesus. So did Chelsea, and so did Vicky, and so did Rose. You know, they're all sharing that they got to that place in their life when they realised they needed Jesus. And so I want to give you that chance today that you can respond right here, just as they did. We're just going to bow our heads and just to give everybody some privacy, because this isn't a decision that involves everybody else. It's actually a decision that you make in your heart to invite Jesus in. And if you would like to respond today, I'm just going to invite you just to raise your hand. And that's just a way of responding to God. And it's so that I know who I'm including in our prayer today, but I'm not going to embarrass you. So you can do that now if you would like to respond. Thank you, Lord. Yep. Is there anyone else that would like to respond today? Yep, at the back there, thank you. Maybe you're feeling like you need to respond again. You can do that too. I think sometimes we've just got to rededicate our life to Jesus. Yep. Okay. We're going to pray now a prayer together. And I'd love it if we could all help those that have raised their hands by praying together this prayer, asking Jesus into your life. Dear God, today I surrender my life to you. I need you, Jesus. I invite you into my heart and into my life. Today I choose to follow you. I believe in you. I believe you died on the cross and you rose from the dead so that I could be forgiven. Today I accept the fresh start I have in you.
Today I accept the fresh start I have in you.
Thank you for all that you have done for me.
Thank you for all that you have done for me.
I want to be a Christian and follow you.
I want to be a Christian and follow you.
In Jesus' name,
In Jesus' name.
amen.
Amen.
Home today as well. We would really like to help you in your faith journey, because as each person shared, it wasn't just that moment where God worked in their life. There is a life journey that God wants to take with you, and he wants to help you through every step. And the church is his plan to help you on that journey. And so if you made that decision today, I really encourage you to come and tell me afterwards, or to fill in one of the green cards at the back and tick that you've done that. Or if you're at home, you can click the link. Let us know that you have committed your life. And there's also on the back table, there's some booklets that might encourage you in your faith, and feel free to take one of those as you go as well. Well, that was awesome. Loved hearing that sharing. Wasn't it fantastic?